Hey, this is Melissa, and I want to give you like a short version of the story of what happened to my sister. And while I give you the story, I want you to try to put yourself in her shoes and imagine what it's like to do what she did and then go through what she go through. And also like how it would make you feel if you end up in the same position she's in. Imagine if you're a girl from Detroit. You start working at a young age to help support yourself, help support the family. And you didn't do too well in high school because there was certain situation made you uncomfortable to go to school. Certain things happen. And you one day get a job as a daycare provider, and then you discover that you have this love for teaching children. And then you decide to go to school for it, but you don't exactly have the grades to go directly to university, so you end up at a community college. You work hard for 2 years to bring your grades up, become a member of the Honor Society. You apply to get into a university, you get in. And then your sister joins you in school, and she's a freshman. And then you have like maybe 2 years to go before you're done with your education. She asks for it. You enjoy your time together, hanging out with your sister. Y'all go through the ups and downs together, try to find enough money to get food, try to find enough money to pay for books and pay for other things you may need. Both of you are working hard together with the dream of getting your college degree so you can get the career that you want. Now you go through it, you go through all kinds of teachers that give you a hard time. You still manage to graduate with honors from the university. Your sister 2 years behind you. Then one day you meet up with somebody that you know for years. You went to school with them, but you kind of lost touch. You meet back up with them. You guys been friends for years, and you guys decide you want to be more than friends. Then as a result, you end up pregnant, and you do everything you was told to do. You was told that you had a health issue, gestational diabetes. You followed all the instructions the doctor told you to do. You went to every appointment. Then missed one appointment, and it didn't even take medication if you thought it would hurt the baby, even though you were suffering from like a headache. You go to the doctor one day, and the doctor tells you, well, the fluid is no longer around the baby like it should be. So we're going to induce labor. And then your sister out of nowhere tells you, maybe, and the doctor tells both actually, maybe you guys should get a cesarean so you're going to get the baby out if the baby going to be in distress, because the baby and the mom going to be in distress. And then you tell them other things like maybe you should have the baby during the daytime and not, or instead of at night and that kind of stuff. But the doctor insists on you having the baby naturally, and you listen to the doctor naturally, not because you don't respect what your sister has to say, but it's just because you think the doctor knows best. They went to school for this because they're literally specialists that you're going to because you told you have gestational diabetes. You go to the hospital, hoping for the best, happy that the baby finally going to be here so you can enjoy your little bundle of joy. And then you go to have your baby, and then they tell you something like, we're going to have to give you an epidural after they induce your labor, right? You don't know much about medication because you're a teacher. You're not a doctor. So trusting the doctors, they said, okay, go ahead and give me an epidural for the pain. They give you an epidural because you're heavy set. They decide to give you more of the epidural than they're supposed to. Because there's a certain amount they're supposed to give you, but because you're heavier, they decide to give you more. Then all of a sudden your world goes black. The lights go out. You pass away, or you're clinically dead for 13 minutes. Your baby's clinically dead too. You wake up, and then you have brain injury. Your life has changed for the worse. All the stuff you worked for is gone down the drain. You can no longer teach, you can no longer drive, you can no longer take care of yourself, and worst of all, you can't even take care of your baby. So your sister and your mom end up taking care of you and your baby. Then you end up in a system after your mom and everybody decided to sue because it was wrong, because come to find out, you wasn't even as overweight as they thought. You was full of fluid because you had lymphedema. They was too negligent to find you had lymphedema, and when they gave you the shot, all the fluid shot up, and then you drowned in your own fluid. There's a lawsuit, there's a settlement, a decent amount, and the settlement is based on the money you would have made had you been able to live out your dream. To teach for a while, and then become a principal, and then become a superintendent of Detroit Public Schools. Because that was her dream. Everything is lost now, and you end up in probate court. In the first few years, everything is fine. Because you end up in probate court around 2004, because that's when the incident happened. But around 2009, after the lawsuit is settled and you get your money, all the bosses from probate court come in, take your money without your permission, without anybody's permission, put it in probate court, and then proceed to give you and your family hell and torment for over 15 years by doing things like taking your rights away, saying that you don't have the right to make any decision about your life or your money, ignoring you when you go to court, annoying your lawyers, denying you due process left and right, not letting anybody come and help you, saying nobody has standing, including your guardians, have standing. And then you have a guardian, which is your mother, which was taken away because they want to bring in public guardians that abused you for years, and neglected you for years, or exploited you for years. And they do all kinds of things to hurt you, and then your family stand up for you. They do things like threaten to throw them in jail, threaten to take away their income, threaten their job, do things like lie on your family members, say they're on drugs, they're alcoholic, say they're violent when none of that is true. And then when it's proved to not be true, none of them are punished for their actions. They continue to constantly hound and hurt your family members, hurt your friends, hurt you in every which way, and then you're helpless to do anything about it because even though you still have the ability to make informed decisions, they keep saying you don't because you have a problem with your memory. That's just the tip of the iceberg of the hell that my family, and particularly my sister, had to endure for years, which not only led to emotional trauma, but also led to the death of our mother, Janie Edwards. This is just like I said, this is just a little bit of what has happened. I will be presenting other stories and telling other things that happened to us. And then, if you want to, you can also not only comment in the comments below about your story, but you could comment on what you think about our story, what you think should have happened instead. And you could mainly talk about your experiences, like have you been abused by the probate court system? Have you been abused, or your family member been abused by? Have other people come in to help with the abuse, like public guardians, like social workers, things of that sort? And so you just leave the comments down below. Like and subscribe, because I'm trying to expose these individuals so this abuse will stop. And the more likes and subscribe that I get, from my understanding, the more likely the word is to be spread. I'm kind of new when it comes to posting things on YouTube, so my editing might not be perfect and things of that sort. I'm still learning how things work. But yeah, you can comment in the section below, and I'll see you next time.